Hello everyone, this is Plankera, and welcome to my universe. Today, I'm going to continue rigging Shalom from Path to Nowhere. Yesterday, I worked on the side bang up on the upper right turn. I think it's mostly good. I just got a couple of little spots that I want to fix up here a little bit. Where was I? There it is. Lost track of my layers for a second there. There's just too many hair layers, what can I say? But yeah, I was only able to do the one angle yesterday, because, working down these strands is always a little bit hard. Find the whole thing a bit difficult. So I'm hoping today I'll be able to do more than one. That would be nice. This is nice when I can do a little bit more than just one. So my throat is a little bit sore today, so I'm gonna go a little bit easier than usual on it, so I might be a little bit quieter than usual, but nonetheless, I will still try to describe what I'm doing, and, well, whatever else happens to be on my mind. Because there is one thing on my mind, and my son was super cute yesterday. We were going to the park, and he, like, straight up started doing the Naruto ninja run down the street. He's 3, has never seen Naruto. So I'm assuming that it must have just been some cartoon that he saw, but he said that he was, had rocket boots. And was using his rocket boots to go down the street. And it was the cutest thing ever. Oh my goodness. I was not expecting it the slightest. I was very surprised, but it was so cute. So cute. It's like he's 3, so he can embrace the cringe all he wants. I don't think he's even thinking about being cringe. And I think that is a wonderful way to be. Even when you're not 3. Definitely got to embrace the cringe forever. That's why I am both a mom and a VTuber. Even though I'm sure that there's a lot of people that would say I'm way too old for this. Screw that. I will be as cringe as I want. I just remembered that I started laughing and my daughter asked me, "Why are you laughing?" And it was just that her brother was way too cute. Alright, so what I've been trying to line up here is there's like these little lighter pink parts through here. And I didn't quite like how they were moving. It's pretty close now. I think I can make it just a little bit better. This area is close enough to her cheeks and eyes that I would like to get it a little bit more accurate. Just trying to figure out which layers are causing the problems here. Because unfortunately there are 2 layers, and I thought it would be a good idea to just basically duplicate the textures here, so now I can never tell which layer is controlling which part, and it always takes me a little while to figure out which parts I need to poke at in order to fix whatever issue that I'm seeing in this area. So that is definitely something I will keep in mind for future rigs. Cut the things better and do not duplicate textures under any circumstances. I say that, but I wouldn't be surprised if there was cases where it makes sense to duplicate things, but still. These are the things I am thinking about. As good as everything was looking this morning, I was hoping that the corrections would be fairly straightforward, but they are still proving to be a little bit difficult. Oh, it's alright. I'll just keep poking at it until I get something I like. That's ultimately what it comes down to. Autosave. Pausing things up there to try to help me out. It's doing its best. I say bah because it's really close, but man, there's just a little bit off and it's just enough to annoy me. Just enough. It's like if it was a little bit worse, I wouldn't feel as bad because I'd be like, ah, yes, this is definitely bad, and I am not being a perfectionist for fixing it. But it's like right at the edge, where it's bad enough that I want to fix it, but not quite bad enough that I wonder if my time would be better served focusing on other parts. And I personally find that position to be kind of annoying. Just making me second guess what I'm doing. But it's fun, because I can do what I want. Just right here, man. Right there. It does not know what it wants to do. And I cannot quite tell what layer is causing it, which just makes it all the more difficult for me to handle. Life is hard. Art is hard. I get the feeling it'll just always be that way. And it's alright. I've been studying Japanese a lot lately. Just trying to learn the language again because I think it's interesting, and I enjoy it. I enjoy languages a lot. I think they're very interesting and can really give you an excellent glimpse into how people that speak that language think. Just because, like, the words that they use, the way they structure sentences, and just about everything about a language, really. I think words help shape your thoughts. So the words and the methods of expressing those words that you have will indeed shape how you think. It's only natural. And so I just find languages very interesting in that regard. And thinking in those terms, I've been having an absolute blast studying kanji. Because they're just groups of symbols with particular meanings ascribed to them, and then you stick like 2 or more together in order to make new words. And it's really interesting, especially the what the combinations kind of imply. Like, one of my personal favorites is weather, which uses the characters for heaven and mood. So it's just the mood of the heavens. And that is just such a wonderful way to think about the weather. It makes me laugh every time. Or another one that I really like, meaning or significance. It uses the characters for, what was it again? Heart or mind and flavor. And I think that is also just a wonderful way to think about significance and meaning. The flavor of your heart. So there's lots of kind of funny ones like that. I think I've talked a little bit about this with Chinese as well, which does something similar. When I was looking through the settings for this one particular game, it just happened to still have them in Chinese for some reason. And I was able to identify the word for tent, or not tent, screen. And it was firefly tent, which I thought was super adorable. Just picturing a computer screen being a firefly tent. It's so cute. So yes, I'm not sure if characters like that are really efficient for writing. Like, I do think that phonetic alphabets are easier to understand, but man, are they fun. There's, it can tell you a lot about how people think about a particular word. Alright, I think my upper left turn is good now. So now, let us go to the lower left. So I checked up here, and I think it's already looking pretty good. So I'll just keep working my way down the strand. As always, I'm just gonna go from the top to the bottom. See how it all shakes out. And actually, I suppose I should check to make sure that the turn over here is still good. That tells you that I'm not quite sure. But it's okay. I think the one that I actually want to change is my top turn as opposed to my upper right one. So let's... or upper left, excuse me. I appear to be slightly more dyslexic than usual today. These things happen. It's like I was just talking about how I was studying foreign languages, and I think that is why my brain has been a little bit out of it lately. Been trying to cram too many words into it, and now there's no room for anything else. There are just too many things that I want to do. Not enough time to do it all. It's so sad. Opportunity cost is just the bane of my existence, I swear. I hate it. I wish I had more time to do all the things that I wanted. Learn languages, draw stuff, play with my kids, watch my son do a derpy ninja run down the street. You know, the usual things. Still very sad to me that I have to pick and choose so much. Life is hard. Life is so hard. So unfair. Like, I'll just look forward to the day that science figures out a way for us to no longer have to sleep. Just that would greatly improve my life, not having to spend 8 hours a day just horizontal in bed. It's the worst. The absolute worst. I hate it. Well, I'm glad I decided to check the upper left with the top turn here, because there were indeed a couple of spots that I didn't think were moving well, and now it's doing much better. Yeah, I do think that is so much better. I think I can do a little bit more with the shadow, though. Look, I've stared at it. I stared at it for a long time, and now I have noticed things again. So of course, I'm gonna go through and just start cleaning up every little thing that I see. I'm a little bit less picky about how things look down there, though. Because for one, there's a highlight there, and I am just less picky about highlights squirming around. I actually think that it tends to make things look a little bit better, if anything. Just because it makes sense to me that when the light hits the hair, that it would change a little bit as the angle of her head changes. So I've been less bothered about that. I'll clean up this after I get this part just right, because they're kind of connected to each other. And I don't think that there's much point in getting one right until I have the other right. Because otherwise I will just be flailing, and nobody wants to see that. Basically, all I'd be accomplishing is making it more time-consuming than it has to be. Doing things one thing at a time is just more effective. Okay, there we go. That's good. And now I can go in and clean up this nonsense. Nonsense indeed. Look at all that crunching. Don't really want to pull on this one too hard, but I have a little bit of wiggle room with the ones down here. Can at least smooth that out and go from there. See what else I need to adjust in order to get it to look the way that I want it to. But honestly, I think this is fine. I think it looks fine. Okay. Back to what I was doing. Back to the lower left. It's okay, I'm glad that I double-checked it up against the top turn. Because now I do think it looks even better than it did before. Alright, so I do feel like there's a bit of compression happening. I don't think I need to make the side hair any thicker or any longer, because I think I have it all lined up vertically. Okay, I guess I'll do some of the big changes that I want to make. So I might need to move things over quite a bit here. Because I don't like this here. Does it also look bad against? Yeah. So I need to move this further to the left, almost certainly. Like if you watch it, look at it go whoop. And the strand nearby is also kind of lengthening. So that means it also needs to go to the left. How about this hair? Does this hair need to go to the left or is it fine? I guess it's fine. It's got kind of a weird shapiness to it that I don't know how to describe. But I don't think it really needs to move that much. But I think it's okay if I move, like, this gap between these two strands. I think that would be okay. So I'm not going to worry about, like, selecting vertices or anything like that. I'm just going to let it happen. And I think it's fine if this strand gets a little bit longer. Okay. This one, I still want to move a little bit more. Something like this. This is probably off, but I think it's a reasonable place to start. Yeah, definitely off, but it is a starting point. Oh man, my nose is just like super itchy today. So you're gonna see me a-wiggling. While I just keep repeatedly scratching my nose. Okay, but that already looks a lot better. Okay, before I do anything else, I think I'm gonna grab this little strand right here. Just because that little strand is kind of independent from everything else and is always kind of a thing. So I'm gonna line it up with my bottom turn. Because right now I feel like the problem is that it is not long enough. And using the bottom turn will let me check how far down it should go. Okay, so I think that they're all kind of starting to line up here. So let's see what I got. I definitely am going to have to kind of smooth some of that out, but I want to make sure that everything is kind of in place, at least vertically here. Yeah, I think so. No, let's just make that look nice. That's kind of the workflow here, just get things into place, and then once I am roughly happy with their place, I can go in and really go and clean it up. That seems okay. If it moves well, I think I'll call that good. Okay, I think the bottom is curling a little bit too much. So I'll go and push that in. And indeed, now it's... looks like it might be a little bit long relative to the left turn. But considering that this strand is curling too much, that actually makes sense. Because it means that in order to keep the same length vertically, without that little curl, I think I'm going to have to make it a little bit shorter. So it makes sense in my head, at least, I swear. Okay, that seems fine. I'm trying to get it fairly neat because I feel like I'm trying to go into the last bits of perfecting it. Yeah, that seems fine. Okay, cool. Now back to what I was doing over here. It's okay, that little strand has to get done at some point, so why not right now? Right now seems like an excellent time to do things. Alright, now I can start working through some of these areas that felt like they were getting a little bit compressed. So you can see that I'm putting a little bit of space between all the vertices here. So that hopefully it'll feel less like things are getting squashed. And I also see that there's a little gap between her ear and the hair again. So I'm gonna just pull this down just a little bit. Nothing drastic or anything, just enough to kind of cover that spot. Yeah, there we go, that's better. Okay, it seems a little bit better. I have definitely not completely solved it. Part of it is probably on this part too. Oh, that part is super wrinkly. What the heck happened here? Okay, I'm gonna have to clean that up something fierce. I mean, look at that. Look at those poor vertices! They are so wiggly. Okay. I guess I'll start here. I did say that I was gonna have to space these out a little bit better. Now that I see how much they're squirming around and just looking like they have no idea what's going on and they're just so uncomfortable where they are, I feel like I gotta poke them now. Feels like it would be rude not to, you know? Alright, that is a complete mess, but I think it is the first step to making it not a complete mess. Look, if it's one thing that art has taught me, it's that sometimes you gotta make everything just a complete mess before you can actually make it look nice. Embrace being a little bit messy. I'm just trying to move that all the way down as I work here. As I work my way down, I'm not too concerned about, well, everything kind of on the strand and whether the strand gets into the right spot. I'm still more worried about up here, but, I mean, when it's wiggling this much, it gets really distracting, so I like to get things looking just good enough that it will no longer bother me. Because dealing with everything wiggling out of the corner of my eye is pretty tough. Easier just to get things good enough and then go into detail on certain areas that I want to check, like right up here. Okay, still feel like things are being stretched a little bit up there, which is actually good news, because it means that I will have a little bit more space to move some of the vertices up here, because there was a lot of compression here, and I wasn't quite sure where all of that was going to end up. But if there's a little bit of stretching this way, it means that it'll be pretty safe to move some of these upward. And then both ends of my problem will be solved, and it'll be wonderful. In theory, you know. We'll have to see how it works out. But it sounds pretty good in my head. In this area, I definitely want to give a little bit of extra attention, because it is right next to her eyes. And people will definitely be looking at her eyes. So I want to make sure that everything around here just looks very nice. And is lining up with everything well, and there's no obvious areas just clearly messing up and not looking right. That is definitely something to be avoided. I think I actually want to fix right here a little bit too, now that I look a little bit more closely at it. I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna do about what I'm seeing here, but I will poke at it. The big thing that I'm seeing is that there's like this gap between these two highlights. It's kind of circular, right there. And it feels like it's getting really, really big. Just super thick. So I figured that I'd try to make it just a little bit thinner and see how that looks. It's getting there. That helped a lot, so I think I'm on the right track. So I just gotta find the right angle for all these little vertices here. I don't think they had to move that much, just kind of change the angle of the line, connecting them a little bit more. Yeah. That's really, really close. Not quite. Not quite where I want it to be yet. Okay, yeah, that seems pretty good. I think it's lining up pretty well there. Okay. So, back to down here where I was dealing with those compression issues. Let me see if it's looking a little bit better now. Yeah, and it's even up, lining up nicely there, I think. I still see a little bit of compression here, but I think that is firmly in the realm of this place. Let's take a look at it. Man. Okay. That's some squirming right there. Okay, so maybe the compression that I'm seeing actually isn't quite in the realm of there yet, of that strand. Might still be kind of in this area. It can be hard to work out which layer does what here, as I have been complaining about often, because it keeps coming to mind. It is that annoying. That's why I don't want to do that again. That's why I consider it a mistake to be avoided. Basically what I did is that you can see if I turn off the strand here, you don't actually see that much difference. Actually, you know, if I do it on the default here, you should see almost no difference until you get down here when I turn it off. Because literally, I just copy and pasted that area and then removed the strand from this one. And that's how this got made. That was not a good idea. I should have done something else for the underside of this strand, or the top of the strand, or I don't know. But something should have been done differently. That much I do know. And someday I'm gonna have to figure that out. But that won't come until I decide to make a new model for fun. Okay, that seems pretty good now. So I'll keep working my way down. Now I'm going to kind of focus on the outer edge, right through here. Probably stop at like the bottom of that loop there. But that will be my next concern. Still feel like it's sliding a bit. So let us do some mesh consultation. See what the mesh has to say here. Well, I gotta say, I'm getting tired way faster than I expected. I'm getting kind of worried that I might be getting sick, which would be deeply unfortunate. I feel like such things happen when you have very little kids in your house. They're not always good at keeping their germs to themselves. And it's like when a 3-year-old says that he wants to snuggle or needs help blowing his nose or all of these other things, then, you know, you just gotta do it. So I feel like I get sick more often than I used to. It's like, man, I'm used to getting sick like maybe once a year at most, or once or twice a year at most. And now it feels like it happens, I don't know, every other month or so. Maybe a little bit less during the summer. So here's hoping that I'll still be good for Friday. Because as a reminder, I will be playing Subnautica on Friday. I will have a proper visual representation of my schedule this week, hopefully, assuming that being sick doesn't stop me from being able to make it. So I want to try to make something nice. Although, man, I gotta say that graphic design and art, those similar, or, you know, drawing, like characters and whatnot, those similar, they have some different principles, and man, am I having trouble bridging the gap sometimes. I've been trying to get a little bit better about my graphic design for a while now, but man, there's a lot there, and I just don't think I practice enough. I do not have enough time to practice as much as I think I should. There are just not enough hours in the day. Got too many things I want to do. You know, now that I look at it, I think that the strand here is kind of overlapping, yeah. So let's go ahead and tuck that away. I was noticing that it looked like it kind of had 2 lines at the edge here from, you know, this sticking out a little bit more, so the line got extra thick, so I'm sliding it back underneath so that hopefully that line will no longer be extra thick. Yep, that looks better. Back to what I was doing. Just trying to smooth out some lines here. Okay, I think I'm starting to figure all this out. The big thing that the mesh is helping me with here is just lining or getting the kind of center vertices, the spine as I like to call it, in a nice row. And I'm trying to get it to where they need to be horizontally. So if I see them squirming to the left or right, then I try to adjust them. And I definitely still see a bit of squirming to the left or right. Okay, I think that's better, so now I can worry about fixing the space between them. So now I'm going to be moving them up or down. So I feel like this vertex and just all of these, like through here, get a little bit closer together when I go to my lower turn. And that's not something that I want either. That results in kind of that squished compression feeling that I've been trying to get rid of. Okay, so I think I have the basics good there, so in theory, I should see a lot less compression and just random stuff that does not look good. Yes. Alright, let's go look at this outer edge now. And then I can keep working my way down this strand. I think I will do that strand before I do the other ones. I've been doing that for the past couple of turns, and it's been working. I think I am pretty satisfied with the results that I've been getting, so let's just keep doing what works. Alright, this seems okay. Looks like it's all moving together now. Autosave, coming back. There we go. I don't feel like right here is quite there yet. Okay, yeah, that seems pretty good. So I'll just keep working my way down. So back to this side, and back to this strand, with all the little things in the middle that I was having trouble with this morning. Let's see how I do on this angle. This angle seems to be cooperating a little bit more, so that's nice. Just had to spend a bunch of time staring at the mesh. And the mesh just had all the answers, which I appreciate. Alright. So I'm just kind of shaping that edge there. It's not quite lining up the way that I want it to, though. And I personally find it a little bit hard to follow. But I think part of that might just be because my head is not feeling its best at the moment. Oh, life is hard. Today might be a little bit of a shorter stream. Probably not that much, though. I've already made it for pretty much my full hour here. But it's looking like I probably won't be able to finish this angle. I think I might finish this stranding, call that good for today, unfortunately. My brain is just not feeling up to doing the heavy thinking necessary to finish this off. I think if I tried, it just wouldn't look very good, and I'd probably end up redoing a bunch of it tomorrow. Such is life. Much like art is hard, life is hard too. So I suppose today might just be a day where I try to rest up so that this way I'll be good for tomorrow and hopefully good for Friday too. So I have been looking forward to playing Subnautica. It's been a game that I've been wanting to play for a while, but just never really got a chance to. Outer Wilds is probably my favorite game, like, of all time. If not my absolute favorite, definitely one of them. And when it comes to other games to play that are kind of similar to that, Subnautica comes up a lot, so I've been very curious about what it is like. Oh. Did something happen here? No? Okay. OBS says it's fine. I just noticed something strange, and... But no, looks like everything's okay. If something bad is happening, please let me know. But if everything's fine, then, you know, don't worry about it. I'll just keep going. Okay. Yeah, I think that's looking pretty alright. I think it's all starting to line up pretty well. I feel like I still got a little bit of shaping to do right there, but I can't quite identify what the problem is. I will try. That's what I gotta do. Unfortunately, the mesh is here to help me. And the mesh is just always so full of wisdom, so I am hoping that it will help me understand why I do not like this particular part. Okay, and now I'm starting to get into the area that I hadn't adjusted all the vertices horizontally. So that's probably related too. But no, I think I'm starting to get the shape right. Yeah, this seems fine. Okay, cool. Whatever it was, I apparently fixed it. I'm not quite sure what it was still, but if it's fixed, it's fine. I'm not gonna worry about it. Okay. Now let's go and do kind of the outer end here. And some of the pink in the center. Gotta line up the top of... There's like this little pink line. It's kind of hard to see, so I'm not sure if I'm the only one that can see it. But, right now it's sliding down a bit low, and I think I've got to sneeze. Give me just a sec. I did indeed. Okay. But yes, this little pink part there needs to be a little bit higher. I'm concerned because there was a whole bunch of issues with compression in this area, and now I'm afraid that I'm going to be making it all worse. But I'll go ahead and line it up over here. See what I can do. And then we'll see how much I cry when it is time to see how it all lines up with my left turn. Okay, that seems actually pretty okay. I'm glad. I was worried for a second there. No, there's still a spot over here that is not lining up well. Okay, I think I know how to fix that spot though. That shouldn't be too hard. Just gotta tuck in the vertices right around here. Okay, still a little bit more to fix around this tiny little highlight that runs right up next to her cheek and eye. Okay, I think I know where to fix it, though. Should have known that I didn't need to pull this out that far. These things happen. Okay, but with that, as much as I would like to finish off the bottom of the strand here, I think I am just out of juice today. So hopefully I'll feel better tomorrow. I'll just try to get lots of good sleep today and take it easy. So that this way, hopefully I can get a lot more done tomorrow. But for now, I think it's nap time. So, thank you all for coming, and I hope you're able to make something wonderful today. I'll see you all tomorrow.